Hello people, Sam Carroll here with Personal Finance Video 3. Eventually I will have a proper name for this series and a proper website, but for now, just getting the content out to you on a timely basis is my priority. Before we get into it today, I just want to say I've got some serious stuff to talk about again, but there will be light at the end of the tunnel after these first few videos. There are some exciting things happening in the economy right now that could bring you opportunities in the years and decades ahead. And we'll get to that. But for now, with the next couple years in mind, this is a good time to sound some notes of caution. Today we'll cover the important questions of the moment like, huh? Really? As in, huh? Are we really headed for more economic and financial trouble 1 decade after 2008? And more importantly, we'll probe into the deeper question, how did we get here again? So, are we really in for some deja vu? And if so, how did this happen? Well, the root cause of the 2008 financial crisis was, above all, unprecedented and unsustainable debt, the risks of which were greatly underestimated by investors large and small. And our answer to that problem a decade ago was, for better or for worse, to issue even more debt, both public and private, and bail out many of the major players in the economy. The U.S. housing and mortgage industries were bailed out. The U.S. insurance industry was bailed out. The U.S. automotive industry was bailed out. And most notably, the U.S. banking system, including hundreds of banks, and nearly every single one of the large investment banks at the epicenter of the crisis were all bailed out, to the tune of $498 billion. By the accounting of an MIT finance professor. That's over $1,500 for every living man, woman, and child in the United States. It's a lot of money. At the same time, our Federal Reserve Bank flooded the entire financial system with cash, bringing short-term interest rates to zero, in an effort to keep money flowing through the banks and corporations, and with that, the entire economy. Now, if you can borrow money for free at 0% interest and borrow as much of it as you want, what do you buy? Everything. You buy everything. And that's what has happened over the past decade. Investors bought everything. Stocks, bonds, direct investments, derivatives, also leveraged loans, and dark pools of money that have grown so large as to overshadow the public markets. And now we've surpassed the levels of debt of even the previous decade. Corporate debt is at all-time highs. Consumer debt, all-time highs. And total U.S. debt, both public and private, is at all-time highs. Of course, some bad debt was written off in the last crisis, and some assets were bought by the government and then later sold, sometimes at a profit. But overall, the legacy of the financial crisis was a rapid return to unprecedented and unsustainable levels of debt. And as that debt has permeated every sector of the economy, I've been calling it the everything bubble. Something in it for everybody. Look, I'm not judging whether this was a good policy or not. Some smart people will argue that these actions were necessary to save the economy. And that may be true, although there may have been other better ways to do it. I won't get into that here. In any case, I'm not taking a policy position. I'm just reporting the news. So here we are now, like a heavy drinker at a party who wakes up with a hangover the next day and turns to even more alcohol to paper over the problem. I've actually seen someone do that. Really not a good idea. At some point, we might find a better way to deal with the underlying problems, but for now, just a little more hair of the dog that bit you. Of course, we'll get through it again, just like we did last time. I just want to help you get through it well. And you'll find some sensible action items that you can return to from video number 1. In particular, the 4 suggestions I made to get your financial house in order. And of course, stick around for more actionable insights in the videos ahead. So that's it for today's video. As always, there's more to that whole story. So if you'd like to do your own research, just rewind a bit, take a few notes, and then head to an internet research site, whatever search engine you prefer to use. All right, so what's next? Eventually, I'll be sharing some of my favorite financial resources on the internet and elsewhere. I'll also be covering the building blocks of how to become a master of your finances and an elite investor. A little hint on that, by the way. An elite investor, there are 3 ways to beat the market, but only one is available to almost anyone. Yes, there's actually something you can do. All right, now it's your turn to talk. Comment below, please, on YouTube. Share what you are doing to put your financial house in order these days, or what questions you have about money or investing right now. Coming up in video 4, I think, the many public whispers of concern over the financial markets, and why cash and cash-like investments are a crucial piece of any portfolio in times like this. And lastly, again, familiar disclaimer. This material is offered for informational and educational purposes only. No part of this video constitutes personal, financial, or investment advice. I assume no liability for any losses arising from any financial or investment decisions taken based on the content provided herein. For personal financial advice, always consult with your financial planner or your registered investment advisor. Well, you made it. Video 3. Thanks for being here. I'll see you guys again soon.